Greetings and welcome to a special edition of First Edition. I'm your host, Stanford King Jr., and today's a special episode. Today is a special episode, one, because it's not our usual schedule. Usually we have the show, from where I do it at. But today I am doing the show from college. So if you hear a lot of background noise, that's probably why. But I had to get this show over with. Unfortunately, just a warning, I'm not going to be able to do the live show. I had intended on this show being completely live and we can discuss and talk about any and everything. However, that is not the case anymore because I am in the middle of a winter storm warning. Yeah, we have a respective 9 inches of snow headed right towards me. So if you think I'm staying at this college to do this show, alive and not dead, you're crazy. So it's not going to happen. But welcome, nevertheless, to First Edition. This is going to be a short episode. It's not going to be long. Our runtime is 45 minutes. You'd be lucky if you get five today. I sincerely apologize. I did not know the storm was going to get this bad, and until I kept getting alerts all day that the storm is going to get that bad. So I'm just kind of outside monitoring what it's looking like. And you can probably hear some tapping in the background. The wind is pretty bad today. It's already kind of sleeting, and a lot of precipitation. I'm becoming a weatherman today. But nevertheless, to the top of the show, Toddy brought up something in the radio chat, which I'm going to talk about today on today's episode of First Edition. There are so many Americans, myself and Toddy included, that are tired of being Americans. That's a sad thing to say. Why do I say that? You have to contextualize why one would say something like that. Well, I'll tell you why. We're living in a country nowadays, whereas everything is uncertain. I remember on SNL, when our president, Mr. Donald J. Trump, got elected the first time, they said something on SNL. I want one day uh, where I don't get a CNN alert that scares the hell out of me. And that's kind of where I am right now. I want one day where I can wake up and be like, today's a normal day. It's always something new. That keeps me on my toes because I love government. I aced the class up, down, left, and right. So I love federal government. So it's of interest to me. However, I do live in America. So it's one of those things where we can critique, but we also have to be able to find proactive solutions. I think the problem with a lot of people is they want to call out this, that, and the other instead of being proactive. Find a solution. Because I promise you, if I am critiquing you, I will find a solution to the critique. I'm not just going to give you criticism that isn't exactly constructive because constructive criticism builds someone up. When you have criticism, you're supposed to build up the person. It's supposed to be constructive. They call it constructive criticism for a reason. It's supposed to be constructive. So, with having said that, we're living in a country right now, and Todd, he can second this. He'll probably have a lot to say on it. But we're living in a country right now, whereas the problem is a lot of people literally do not want to be a part of the solution. You want to be a part of the problem. We're going to call out XYZ, ZYX. I'm going to call it out, but I'm not going to give you a solution. That is the problem. Americans, if you're listening, wake up. Be a part of the solution. Be enthralled to be able to wake up in a country as free as America, but critique your government. Hello, critique your government. Don't become complacent. Everybody should be frustrated right now. There's literally always something to be frustrated about in our government. But isn't that the beauty of federal government? To some, no, but to me, it's always enthralled. That's what I wanted to cover on today's show because a lot of the breaking news headlines were for the president of the United States of America. And then we were following international headlines, which were a disaster. But we were following all of that. And I said I was going to give you an update. This is my update. This is my update because I say at the end of every show, be curious and ask questions. Because the moment our federal government tells us to stop asking questions, that should be a red flag. With that, Hi, I'm Stanford King Jr. This has been First Edition, and it's the shortest episode I have ever recorded, but I hope you got something out of it. Stay curious, ask questions, and hopefully, we'll be back to our regular schedule soon. I want you to check the announcements. Check the announcements, keep checking them, because I may have to keep postponing the show till Lord knows when, but I hope to be back soon. With that, have a good one. Stay safe, stay blessed, and no pun intended, stay warm.